Hurricane Francine impacted southeast Louisiana this week, but the area weathered the storm and kept week 2 of prep football on schedule. Teams have their eye on 2-0 this Friday night, including 2 state playoff contenders. Warren Easton and Kennedy battle in our game of the week. And Mandeville's dynamic running back hopes to storm his way to another big evening. All that tonight on 4th Down Friday. We start things off on the North Shore through a foggy lens. Chalmette making the trip from the Parish to Mandeville to take on Lakeshore. Owls down big to the Titans in the first half, and that deficit just grew in the second half. Lakeshore's Audrey Gross takes the inside handout, scores from a couple yards out. Lakeshore with a commanding 35-7 lead. Chalmette would fumble the ensuing kickoff, and the Titans capitalize off that turnover. Sean Brown finds pay dirt this time for Lakeshore. The Titans earn an impressive 45-21 win over Chalmette. Dealing with a hurricane can be stressful, and I'm glad you made it out safely and hopefully with minimal damage. And I hope we can provide you a solid 20-minute escape from this hectic week. What up? Welcome to 4th Down Friday. I'm Ricardo LeCompte. Francine didn't wipe out our 4th Down Friday game of the week. Warren Easton and Kennedy expect to make a deep playoff runs in their respective divisions, and tonight's game serves as an early measuring stick for both teams. Seth Lewis watched this one at Pan Am Stadium. He joins us live with more. Hey, Seth.
Hey, Ricardo, and I'm still watching this one as this one is late in the fourth quarter right now. Now, this game has been so long. I don't know if there's an LHSAA record for time, but it's definitely in that top 10 or something like that. We've had 50 penalties. We've had 50 cramps. But another thing that we've had a lot of is points in this game. These two teams scored a combined 98 points in week 1, and we got some of those same fireworks in the first half. On the very first drive for Kennedy, James Evans in at quarterback. He scrambles right and hits Kingston Jones on a dot, and the Louisiana Tech commit does the rest. An 87-yard touchdown to make it 7-0 Kennedy. And Evans wasn't done with his magic. Now at wide receiver, Amani Darrensburg finds James Evans on the slant, and he turns on the Jets. He will not be caught down the left sideline. Kennedy would eventually jump out to a 20-0 lead to begin this game. But then the Eagles finally fly into the highlights. Cole Reed scrambling to his right, thinks about running, but instead finds Thomas Vaughn for the 25-yard touchdown. Warren Easton trails 20-8. Just when it looked like Warren Easton was gaining some momentum, Kennedy on the very next play, Darrensburg throws it up to Jones, and when you have a track All-American on your team, you just throw it and let him run under it. He's a runner, he's a track star, 67-yard touchdown, and Kennedy leads 27-8. But right before half, Kennedy and Warren Easton right now, it's 36-26 in the fourth quarter. Kennedy, or actually Warren Easton, to get back in this game, scored 12 straight points to make it a 7-point game before Kennedy kicked the field goal to kind of put this one out of reach. Now in an injury note, Kennedy's quarterback, or Warren Easton's quarterback, Cole Reed, got hurt, and they really haven't had much of a rhythm since then. So it does look like Kennedy is going to move on and make it 2-0 on the season. At Pan Am, Seth Lewis, WWL, Louisiana.
All right, Seth, thanks, and we'll give you an update from that game coming up later when that goes final. Now let's head back to the North Shore. Slidell searching for that first win under first-year head coach Damon Page. The Tigers hosting Livingston Collegiate at LV McGinty Stadium this evening. Slidell up big, but the Wolves on the move in the third. Quarterback Benjamin Anthony pulls it down, scrambles for a nice 25-yard gain later in the drive. Anthony goes to the air and hits Devoyne Thompson for the 12-yard score. Livingston Collegiate cuts the deficit to 34-12, but the Slidell defense was solid all night outside of that drive. Jarvian Evans comes up with the pick. Slidell gets that first win for Damon Page, 34-12, the final. Mandeville will be a favorite in a competitive District 6-5A thanks to running back Nate Shepard. The Duke commit opened his senior season in style last Friday night. He scored 4 touchdowns, one of those on a pick 6, and a season-opening win over Salmon. His skippers at the crib tonight, the home opener at Sidney Terrio Stadium, facing Madison Prep. The Chargers lost at Dutchtown in week 1 and fell to number 8 in the LSWA Class 3A poll. Madison Prep in an early 7-0 hole and driving, but Mandeville's Marquez Zenon blows up the play. Garrett Ruth, Johnny on the spot, jumps on the pigskin, ball back to Mandeville, and they cash in on the turnover. Nate Shepard goes untouched into the end zone for a few yards out. That was his second touchdown of the quarter. Shepard scores 6 touchdowns this evening. Mandeville beats Madison Prep 52-43. North Shore looking to bounce back from a week 1 loss in Mississippi, hosting John Curtis. The Patriots trying to shake off the season opening loss at the Caesars Superdome. Curtis with the rock, but they cough it up. The Panthers recover. Jovan Richardson showing he has it when he emerges from that pile. Unfortunately, North Shore, there it is, can't turn it into points. Still scoreless in the second quarter. The Patriots hold on to the ball this time, and that drive ends with a 2-yard touchdown by Reggie Johnson, 7-0 Patriots. But the Panthers answer that score. Donovan Wilbacher goes deep, and that ball gets deflected right into the hands of Derek Wilbacher. That's a 35-yard strike to tie it at 7 apiece. However, Curtis does pull away in the second half to win 27-7. Coming up, both East Jefferson and Belle Chase aim for 2-0 starts to the season, while Carver and Higgins seek that first win of 2024. Highlights of both games ahead, but first, scores from across the metro area. Belle Chase won a playoff game in the Division I non-select bracket last season. The Cardinals dropped back to Division II this season, and they are capable of making a deep run. East Jefferson continues to rebuild in year 2 under Brian Glover. The Warriors won 3 games in his first season, but do return some experience to make a run this year in District 10 5A. Both teams square off tonight at Belle Chase Stadium, seeking a 2-0 start. The Warriors' ground game bolstered by Jaden Obakiwi in the first quarter after Paul Jones was sidelined with the temporarily with a cramp 20 yards up the gut there, down inside the 5. Then he punches it in 3 plays later. East Jeff with the early 7-0 lead. Second quarter, Warriors driving. Gavin Bester looks across the middle, but finds Trace Adams. Unfortunately, he plays for the other team, and Adams is going to take it 50 yards back for the pick 6 to tie this game at 7. A battle throughout, but Belle Chase goes on to win 24-17. At Haas Memphis Stadium, Carver and L.W. Higgins looking for win number 1 on the year. Rams take the field in the second half with a 19-6 lead over the Hurricanes, and Carver wastes no time adding to the score. Freddie Berra back deep to receive the kick, and the kid they call Fred Money, trying to cash it in for 6, takes it towards the sideline, finds his seam 80 yards. He doesn't quite take it to the house, but Carver does finish the job there later in that drive. Carver goes on to win by the final of 32-12. Now, that game, our game of the week between Warren Easton and Kennedy, just wrapped up. Seth Lewis has more from Pan Am. Seth.
Ricardo, Warren Easton tried to make this one a game in the second half, but Kennedy just had one too many plays in order to pull out the win. Second half, looks like the Cougars are ready to run away with it. Amarion Brown with the easy touch for the score. That makes it 33-14. But Easton's Thomas Vaughn said, "We ain't done yet." One guy tries to take him down. He spins off, keeps his balance to finish the amazing 65-yard touchdown. The 2-point conversion makes it 33-22, Easton trailing. Then the Eagles force 2 safeties in the third quarter, including Jaden Phillips, sacking Darrensburg out the back of the end zone. 33-26, Easton trails. So Kennedy gets the victory 36-26, and Kennedy advances to 2-0 on the season. Ricardo?
Yeah, big win for Kennedy, knocking off Warren Easton. Thank you, Seth. Now, the rest of the rescheduled games in week 2 will be played Saturday and Sunday. Most of the Catholic League will be in action tomorrow. St. Aug, Holy Cross, Rummel, and Jesuit all seeking wins. And Brother Martin travels to Covington to face St. Paul's. The Crusaders playing at Hunter Stadium for a 3rd consecutive year and looking for a 3rd straight win there in Covington. We're out of time. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next Friday night for 4th Down Friday.